Okay, so the first thing I do, I got my, these are actually some spare rats and mice that were given to me. So they're actually a little bit smaller than what I normally feed. So basically this week my snakes are going to get a little snack in it, and I'll put them on their regular size prey again next week. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to weigh them and write it down here on this piece of paper so I know which prey to feed to each snake. And this is just a little digital food scale that I picked up at Walmart. Alright, 66. And what I'm doing after weighing, I'm just putting them into a Ziploc bag. Some people use them, some people don't. This is one of those things that's just personal preference. Okay, now that I've got them all weighed out, got them in this plastic bag, what I'm going to do next is, a lot of people, there's different ways to thaw out prey. Some people put them in the refrigerator and let them thaw out during the day. Some people just leave them sitting out. Some people put them directly in like a cup of hot water. What I do is, I don't want to take the chance on, because these are frozen, if you put them in water that's too hot, it can cause them to rupture. So what I do is I got them in a bag, and I'll take them, put them in this pan. And if anybody's wondering, this pan's used only for thawing rats. It's not used for cooking. What I'm going to do is I'm going to fill the pan up first with basically lukewarm water, so that it has just a little bit of heat, but not too much. And what I'm going to do is, it takes me a while to thaw out my rats, just because I like to do it slow. And I start off with the pan full of lukewarm water, and I'm going to let them sit for about 45 minutes, and then I'm going to come back and dump the water out, and then I'm going to put hot water in there, let it sit for about 15 minutes, and then I'm going to dump that out and put more hot water in there and leave it for about 15 minutes. And usually by then the rodents are thoroughly thawed out and ready to feed. Alright, so I've got the rats in the room now. I've got them in the bag. After you thaw them out, the easiest way to tell if they're completely thawed is to just, you can press on them, mash them. If they're soft and spongy, then they are completely thawed. If they're still got, frozen body parts inside of them, you'll be able to feel it. At this point, depending on how you feed, is where you need to start pre-scenting. And what that's going to do is that's going to let the snakes get catch the scent of the rats. It's going to get them into feed mode and let them know that their meal's coming. A few ways to do this is you can just lay them out and let them sit out for about 30 minutes or so. You'll be able to tell when your snakes start getting interested. What I do is I kind of speed the process up, and I use just a regular blow dryer, just like this one. And what I do is, I'll do it, show you here in a minute, is when I take the rat out, I'll use the blow dryer to heat the rat up. And what it's going to do is, it's going to give the rat a heat signature for the snake to home in on. Some people use this method, some people don't. I do because I like it and it works for me. Also, what I do is, while I'm heating the rat up with a blow dryer, I'm blowing the air straight into the tubs. So that's kind of the way I pre-scent. So let me get set up right quick. And I'm going to start with the Demeral's boa, because he can be very aggressive when it's feeding time. I'm thinking he's about to go into shed because he's been kind of hiding out in his hide for the last day or so, and I haven't seen him out, which is pretty much his indication that he's fixing to go into shed. Normally, as soon as he smells rats, he is out and he's going psycho, basically making laps around his tub. And I've got the camera on the tub. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it or not. But what I'm going to do first is I'm going to take all the straps and binder clips off the tubs. That way I can, once I get the rats in, I can get them closed up and move on to the next one. And one thing I have to do with this guy is I have to watch him, because when he comes out and starts moving, I'm basically going to see what end his head's on, and then I'm going to present the rat. Okay, I've got all the straps and binder clips off. Now with the Demerals, because I know that he can be fairly aggressive when he comes out, I use a long set of tongs, which are, I'm guessing they're about 2 feet long. And depending on how aggressive he is, sometimes I'll actually use the my snake hook to raise the lid up. That way if he strikes out of his tub, he's not going to hit me. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to get the rat that I marked for him. And what I do is I grab the rat by the scruff of the neck, which is just like that. That way when I present it, it'll be in a horizontal, and then, as they're coming after it, all you got to do is just give it a little wiggle. We can move it back and forth. And it's got a natural, like a natural motion to it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my blow dryer, and it doesn't take a whole lot of time to do this, just maybe 20 seconds or so. And what I do is I concentrate it more right on the head. Something like this. So it's set on hot and high. What I'm doing is, if you notice, I'm blowing the air straight into the tub. And I'm heating up giving a good heat signature to the rat. Yeah, here he comes. I don't know if you're going to be able to see him, but he's already coming out. Smells it. What I'm doing is I'm going to angle down here. There comes the little talkie K. He's poking his head out. The Costa Rican, he's already out. He's just lounging on his rock, but he's starting to perk up. And I'm also looking, and I can see my little beak, see my ball python's tongue flipping. He's not out going spastic, so he must be going into shift. He's going to take it kind of easy. So what I've done now is I've got a heat signature. Alright, let me take a look. He's on this end, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in on the far end. And basically what I do is take one more look at where he's at. There he comes. Oops. All I do is I stick it in, do a little wiggle. Boom. Yeah, I can see his eyes are starting to go blue, so it's going to take him a little bit. There you go. There we go. Boom. Alright, 1 down, 3 to go. Alright. Now the next one is going to be a little cocker kitty. I'm going to lay these over here to clean them. Now for the other ones, I just use regular 18-inch tongs just because they're a little bit easier to work with. Now the next one is going to be a little cocker kitty. I'm going to lay these over here to clean them. Now for the other ones, I just use regular 18-inch tongs just because they're a little bit easier to work with. So once again, this one's going to be a little mouse, so I grab it by the scruff of the neck. Give it a heat signature. Let me see if I can adjust the camera down here a little bit. And I can already see he's got his little head poking out. And he is ready for food. Now don't come after my hands. And I go in the opposite end and let him come after it. Give it a little jiggle. And boom, he's got it. Just that quick. Take that. Well, he's not going to readily come out and get it, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to leave it laying in there a couple inches in front of his hide. And then I'll come back in about 2 hours or so and check. And if he's eating it, fine. And if he hasn't, then I will just bag it up and toss it out.